but how can this legacy live on? How can the generations to come still benefit from this legacy? And generations to come, not just her lineage, but how can other people in the world benefit from her story? That is when I decided I am taking that journey. This has to live on. I started off with podcasts because I was thinking, how can I get it out there? I actually didn't start off with podcasts. I started off with a book. I needed to write the book. But to write the book, you need to have content. You need to have context. You rightly mentioned them.
The 3 C's.
Yes. But I knew I didn't have enough. I only had my mom's story. I needed to hear from other people. So I went the route of podcasts. So I did the Dazzle in Your Greatness. We can access it on Google Podcasts and on Apple and I forget the other channels. But yes, what I was doing was to get the message out there so that I can get people commenting and responding. And then I use those comments and stories
to put in to curate them for the book.
For the book.
Curate for the book.
Yes, to curate them for the book. And it's at that point that God opened doors for me because He had a purpose.
Grand scheme of things.
Yes. That's when I started traveling. Not that I wasn't traveling before. By that time, the travel was increased. Like every after a week, I was in.
Back to the 3 E's.
Exactly.
It brings now the exposure.
Exactly. Well, He was sending me out there to do what I love the most, to train. But I realized that for every trip I had, there was someone I had to meet and I had to have a discussion with, and that would form part of the story.
Destiny connection.
And all the people I met went through more or less similar the pattern that I have just talked about. It all starts with emotional drain. But where does that come from?
I like what you are saying now, Blender. God was doing something that probably you don't realize.
Yes.
What is it? In order for Him to cure and defeat the fear that you had for the passing of your mom, He had to bring other stories for external validation so that you can relate with other people who had faced similar stories, so that you can now find healing to put down the story in a very authentic way.